Yeah. Uh.
Visual perceptual skills are the brain's ability to make sense what the eyes see. It is important for everyday activities such as dressing, eating, writing, and playing. There are 7 different categories of visual perceptual skills. We will review each of these categories as well as some visual perceptual activities that are helpful for children. There are 7 forms of visual perceptual skills: visual memory, visual sequential memory, visual discrimination, visual spatial relations, visual form constancy, visual closure, and visual fig ground. This is a little different than visual sequential memory. Visual memory is the ability to store visual details in short term memory, such as recalling a phone number. Reading comprehension is going to be affected when visual memory is deficient. Think about showing a photograph to someone and then taking it away and asking them question about it. A child who has problem with visual memory will have difficult remembering facts about the picture. Here in this activity, child has to memorize all the images and their position. In this activity, the child tried to remember the object in the top box, cover them up, and circle the same object in the bottom box. For third activity, we need some colorful pens. In this activity, child will try to remember the color and the shape and then cover them up, and child has to make the same. Sequential memory is the ability to remember a series of forms and find it among the other forms. If your child is having a hard time sequencing the alphabet or copying from one place to another, this may be a problem with sequential memory. Sometimes, even with older elementary children, when they are copying sentences off the board, they will skip words. Or when a child is copying sentences, they are copying one letter at a time. They are not seeing it as a whole word that they can write, but just each individual letter. This is sequential memory problem. Blue, blue, green. Blue, blue, green. Blue. What will come next? It will be blue. Visual discrimination is the ability to differentiate between objects and forms. This includes skills like being able to identify money and sort coins or other objects. If they are not able to discriminate the differences between or the similarities between objects or pictures, they are going to have a difficult time differentiating between N and M, B and D, and P and Q. In this activity, child has to observe very carefully and match the pair. In this activity, child has to cross the picture that is different from the rest. Visual spatial relations is the ability to determine one form or part of a form that is turned in a different direction than the others. This is why some of our children have such a hard time recognizing B and D or P and Q. They don't understand that just it's rotated or it's a different letter. They also have difficulty differentiating between in and out, over and under, left and right because those are spatial skills concepts. In this activity, child has to see in which directions the arrows are and accordingly he has to color. As you can see, it's a color copy challenge activity. In this activity, the child has to see the left part of the worksheet and he has to color the right part with the same color. This activity is very good for concentration. As you can see, the child has to observe very carefully which circle are colored. In this activity also, the child has to focus and concentrate on the left part of the worksheet and he has to draw the same pattern on the right side of the worksheet. Form constancy is the ability to see a form and find it among the other forms, although it is sized differently or rotated. Again, this is going to be a reason why some children will have trouble recognizing letters and numbers. Example, recognizing that 6 and 9 are two different numbers. Visual figure ground is the ability to perceive a form and find it hidden in a conglomerated ground of matter. For example, ask a child to find the blue crayons in their pencil box. Visual figure ground is being able to filter out all the other crayons to look for the blue crayons. For the adult equivalent of the using visual figure ground skills when we are roaming through a junk drawer to find something we need. Hidden picture activities are useful for children to work on the visual figure ground skills. Visual closure is the ability to fill in the missing detail into an incomplete shape. This requires abstract problem solving. A good example of this is working on puzzle, being able to put a picture together in your mind and piece it together correctly. This also will cause a problem with writing and spelling. With spelling, a child with visual closure deficit won't know the end of the word or the middle of the word. For writing, a child with visual closure deficit will not be able to know if the word is complete.